So, funny story. How do readers ever decide what to read? Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jiva and welcome back for a new reading vlog. Hello! So I'm actually starting today the very last reading vlog of 2024. I've just realized this. Honestly, it hit me yesterday, kind of, that it's the last week of August, and that means that summer of 2024 is actually coming to an end very soon. I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on booktube already like prepping for fall, already putting together TBRs and stuff. I personally kind of prefer just like sitting out the summer through the rest of August and just enjoying this last kind of like month of summer, I guess. I kind of like it because everything feels like it slows down, you know? August is kind of like my favorite summer month, I want to say, because I don't know, I think it might just be because like the days are getting shorter, you know, so everything just feels like you kind of had to slow down and take it all in before it all kind of like comes to an end, you know. It could also just be because it's like the last month before fall and like, you know, you're kind of, that anticipation of the cozy season is kicking in. So yeah, I don't know, but it feels kind of nice. So I've been trying to enjoy this last few days of August and it's been really nice. I've been kind of looking back on how this summer has been, and I have to say, even though there's been ups and downs, there's been like bad news and there's been good news, at the end of the day it was like a good summer. And I've kind of noticed that a lot of the good things that have happened this summer have actually happened in August, so I thought I would share them with you, because some of those good things actually have to do with the books that I've been reading and also with vacation and all kinds of things that's been happening. So I kind of wanted to tell you about some of the best things that have happened this summer, and including the books that I would like to tell you about. So, funny story. I was the first 10 days of August waiting to go on vacation. And like, I think this is the only time where I'm kind of like a snob about books. Like, I want to bring physical books with me on vacation. Like, I don't want to read ebooks or like listen to audiobooks while I'm on vacation. I genuinely need the comfort of that physical book in my hands that I can read like on the beach, in the house, in, you know, wherever. So I was determined to keep at least a couple of the books from my physical TBR for summer, for vacation. And so to kind of keep myself distracted, I went through a series of other books. I read so much. I listened to so many audiobooks, just trying to keep my brain occupied and not think about, you know, the physical books on my TBR. Specifically, the two books I was determined to take with me on vacation were Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake, and the other book I was gonna take on vacation with me was Happy Place by Emily Henry. So I was also saving this one, trying to avoid it as much as I could before going on vacation. So in the meantime, I was just, you know, trying to read other books, and funnily enough, I discovered and I read so many amazing, beautiful books, and now I can't wait to tell you about those. So I thought first off we could do kind of like a quick summer wrap-up of the books that I've been reading recently. First, I want to tell you about this lovely, beautiful book, and that's Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This book is just gorgeous. Okay, I knew to expect it going into it because I've loved Talia Hibbert's other books. This is a YA, but I kind of like it because the characters are like in their last year of high school, I believe. They are like preparing for going to college, so they definitely read more mature than like your typical YA book, and I loved how they handled their relationship. So as we follow our two main characters, Celine and Bradley, you know, they are kind of like ex-best friends from childhood until something happened between them that kind of made them not be friends anymore, and they kind of became each other's nemesis. But now that they're kind of forced into this program of like surviving in the forest together, and they have to work in the same group, they're kind of forced to admit what went wrong and actually talk about it and figure out if they can still be friends or whether there might actually also be something more. And it was so darn cute. I can't tell you guys. It is adorable. I love how Talia Hibbert, I almost said. I love how Talia Hibbert can create these amazing characters that feel so real. It's genuinely like reading about your best friends that you've known for years. And and it was just amazing. So yes, I love this one, would highly recommend it. Actually, if you're looking for a contemporary romance to read during fall, I would recommend this one because the story pretty much takes place like outside in nature and mainly starts like the new school year, so starting September and then going through to I think February or maybe March. And then I kind of continue on with another YA audiobook this time. I listened to Fat Witch Summer by, I forget the author right now, but I listened to it and I was so pleasantly surprised. For some reason going into the story, I don't know what I was expecting, but definitely wasn't what was delivered. I loved the nuances of the characters and the struggles that they went through. We follow basically four main characters, all of them are witches, and they go on this road trip across this 13 witchy states to get to the university to steal magical gifts for themselves because they don't want their parents to pick the gifts for them. And it's just, it feels like such a journey of self-discovery for every single one of them individually, but at the same time it's such like a bonding experience, and it was beautiful. I appreciated the way the magic system was set up, everything about the world. I was surprised to learn this is actually like a fantasy world. It's not an urban fantasy. It's not actually set in our reality. It's kind of like a fantasy version of kind of like the United States, except it's like witchy and smaller and stuff like that, and there's a whole different hierarchy to things and stuff. So yeah, I felt like the world still felt like familiar in the way that the US can feel to me familiar, you know, because I don't live there, but with a little bit of magic, I guess. So yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by it. I love the characters again. I love the journey they went on, like literally and figuratively. So yeah, I thought it was beautiful. Okay, next up I also read Love at a Funeral and Other Awkward Conversations. I again listened to the audiobook, and guys, this story, oh my goodness, it completely shook me to my core, I think. And I think that's because of how raw the portrayal of mourning and loss is. We literally start the story off with the main character's family learning that her brother has died, you know, and he had like a heart attack in the middle of the gym or something, you know, he was working out and he, I think, was going home and he had a heart attack and died. So it was all very sudden, nobody knew anything about it, you know, he wasn't sick before or anything. And suddenly everything just changed in her entire family's lives. And I love the portrayal of how this loss is going to affect every single relationship that the main character has. First off with her parents, then also with her, a bit with her extended family, but also her relationship like with herself. And it was just so beautifully written, you know, you can genuinely feel every single emotion that the main character is feeling. And it was very, very touching. So yeah, and then on the other hand, we kind of have this other side of the story where we have the main character falling in love with her brother's ex-best friend or something. And yeah, that was kind of like the more hopeful side, but again, the loss did affect that relationship as well. So yeah, it was beautiful. And I really appreciate that the author touched on this topic of the relationships that are usually talked about is when like a parent loses a child, when children lose their parents, grandparents, whatever. There is very, very rarely talk about what happens or how to deal when a sibling, you know, loses their sibling. That's not often a relationship and like a loss of a relationship that's touched on. And I really like that the author actually pointed this out, because now that I've read that, I started noticing that it's very true. And hopefully, you know, I think a story like this could definitely be helpful to somebody who's going through a loss like this and is trying to learn how to deal with everything, the emotions, the relationships, everything that comes along with it. So yes, beautiful, so raw, so unfiltered. It was gorgeous. So yeah, and then the last book that I kind of binge read, I guess I was binge reading all these books waiting for a vacation. The last one is Love of the Record. Now this is actually a random audiobook. I decided to listen to it. It wasn't on my summer TBR, but I ended up loving this book so much. It's possibly another new favorite contemporary romance. It was just fun, and I loved the relationship between the two characters. It's basically, we follow these two characters who are kind of rivals at this university like student paper thing. Well, it's not a student paper, it's like a university paper. Both of them want to be journalists, but unfortunately at the moment at this paper where they are like interning at or something, there is only one position that has opened up to like accept a junior journalist or something like that. And so they become each other's competition, and in this competition they kind of do a lot of things to undermine each other and try to get on top, you know. And I mean that in both the journalistic way and also in the romantic way, because they're definitely very, very attracted to each other. And let me tell you, the chemistry is off the charts. I love how the author created this amazing tension between the two main characters. Their banter was sweet and just addictive as hell, and it was impossible to stop listening to it. So I flew through that audiobook. I loved how the story ended up like developing and resolving and everything that went down. It was just one of those stories that's a lot of fun to read, you know. So there were some like topics about, again, just growing up and making friends. We also have a representation of the fat main character and the struggles and the self-doubts and all of these things that she goes through, you know. So there are nuances to the story as well, but I think the part of it that I personally enjoyed the most was definitely the romance and the chemistry the two main characters had. That was love of the record. Oh my goodness, that was such a rapid fire little wrap up, but I just had to get through the books that, you know, I read, because they were all so amazing. Honestly, I think all the books I read in August will end up on my like best books of 2024 list, because they were beautiful, amazing, soul-wrenching, life-changing, whatever, you know. So yeah, I really enjoyed them. And then what ended up happening just before going on vacation, 2 days before going on vacation, I gave in and I started reading one of the books that I was gonna bring with me when going you know, to vacation, and that was The Lilac Green Doesn't Care. So I started reading this one, guys, and like I kind of panicked. I panicked because I thought I was gonna finish this one before going on vacation. So randomly I decided, like, I was running some errands, I was going past a bookshop, and I decided to pop in and check if they have any books I could possibly kind of like have like as a reserve for taking on vacation, just in case I ended up finishing The Lilac Green Doesn't Care, because I don't know, it felt like one book for 7 days taking with me on vacation might not be enough. I don't know, guys, I panicked, or I just needed an excuse to buy a book. I don't really know what happened, but I ended up picking up Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I also ended up reading this one on vacation, and that was the most beautiful experience. I freaking adore this book so much. It feels like one of those books that just comes into your life at the exactly right time when you need it, and it's gonna make you feel not so alone in the struggles that you're going through. So I deeply appreciate Funny Story. I love the characters. If you don't know, it's about two people whose exes get together. They are both dumped by their ex-boyfriend girlfriend, and it's all very unexpected. So what our two main characters end up doing is actually moving in together, because our female main character, she's called Daphne, she actually doesn't have anywhere else to go at the moment because she gets kicked out of her would-be future house, you know, by her ex-boyfriend, who got together with his best friend, who is the ex-girlfriend of our male main character. He's called Miles, and they kind of realize that they have been slighted in life by their exes, and they decide, they kind of make a pact to make each other kind of like reclaim their lives, I guess. They realize they've made a lot of sacrifices for their exes, especially Daphne has for her ex-husband, ex-fiance. And so they kind of make this pact to show each other that life can actually be beautiful when they are just living it for themselves, you know. They kind of try to rediscover what they like, what they don't like. They kind of try to fall in love with this place they're living in, even though they kind of moved here just for their exes. So there's so much going on. There's so much more than what I just told you. There's so many different aspects of the story to love and to just enjoy and read. I love it. I love it, and I just want to tattoo this book into my soul, honestly. It was so beautiful. And yeah, I think definitely a new all-time favorite, like, for sure. So yes, now you might wonder what happened to the other 2 books that I was gonna bring on vacation and whether I've read them. And the answer is yes, I did read Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Once again, just a whole cast of character that is lovable and funny and such a joy to hang out with. Like, again, I think this has kind of happened a lot this year, but it's another kind of friend group that you just would want to like jump into the story and hang out with, because it sounds like the most fun time ever, and I loved every single second of spending time reading about these characters and learning about their love lives and their mishaps and their heartbreak and them slowly learning to trust each other again. We basically follow our main character, Delilah Green. She's a photographer. She's kind of forced into becoming a wedding photographer for her stepsister's wedding, whom she doesn't really get along with, and neither does she get along with her best friends. But when she comes back to her hometown, she kind of starts discovering that this certain best friend of her stepsister's, she's called Claire, there might be more to her, and they might be building a bit of a connection that neither of them, I think, expected. So yeah, it's beautiful, okay? Again, such a beautiful exploration of different perspectives of a relationship and how that can affect said relationship, you know? We can, like, for instance, we have here the 2 stepsisters, we have Astrid and we have Delilah, and the author did a really good job describing or like portraying the relationship of theirs that was very rocky. But it was rocky because they both were kind of misinterpreting each other's behavior, and they got kind of really in their heads about it. And it really shows like the humanity of these characters. And I mean, it's something that happens in real life as well. We interpret events in different ways, and I think a lot of this actually is the cause of a lot of conflicts in life. So yeah, it was really nice to kind of see this reflected in the story and how it all played out. So yeah, again, another all-time favorite. I cannot wait to get to the rest of this books in the series. There's a book about Astrid and we have another book about Iris. So yeah, definitely will be looking forward to jumping into the rest of the books. Okay guys, we are almost done with this wrap up. I hope you're not bored yet, but I have one more book that I wanted to mention. This is actually the one that I'm currently reading. I started this one on vacation, and it's Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've kind of struggled with this one, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a really long time to get into the story and to really connect with the characters, and I think that could be because it's just so, it feels very heavy. Like, we're dealing with a main character who has been broken up with her longtime boyfriend. They were engaged, they were going to get married, but then some very heartbreaking events happened in their lives that kind of caused them to grow apart, or I guess, or like caused them to not communicate with each other properly, and they've been kind of dealing with a fallout. They broke up and they haven't told their best friends about it, and now they have to kind of like spend this week of summer in this place that they used to vacation with together with their friends, and trying to keep it all on the down low and tell them when the week is kind of over. It's been kind of hard trying to connect with the characters, but I think the like farther into the story I get, the easier it gets. I actually have very little of it left. I have like the last 50 pages or so, so really not a lot. And we've kind of just come to like the peak of the story where the conflict finally explodes. We kind of have everybody finally being honest with each other, and it's been fun. I feel like now it's actually getting to this part where it gets resolved. I think that might be why it felt a bit claustrophobic reading this book, because everybody was just like kind of in a, you know, cramped up, kind of like holding their breath, so they wouldn't breathe aloud or everything would implode. And now that it's finally imploded, it feels like it's easier to breathe for everybody. I don't know, could be that, could be something else. So yeah, okay, that was kind of like a long wrap up of the best of books of summer 2024. And since we're kind of like talking about the best of summer of this year, I kind of wanted to share with you this next little montage while we were on vacation. So yeah, the place we went to actually is called Pakostane in Croatia. I highly recommend it. It was pretty like small and it felt very private. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this next clip of what it was kind of like on vacation. Honestly, one of my favorite things about going on vacation in August is actually that it feels like a bit of a wrap up on summer. It definitely feels like coming back from vacation and then it's only time to transition into some of the colder months. It's kind of why I'm gonna go through my clothes. I'm gonna switch around my wardrobe. I'm gonna take the sweaters that I have in those boxes underneath my clothes, and I'm gonna hang them up, and I'm gonna put all my summer clothes inside the boxes. And I also need to switch these out. So I had these cherry blossom fake flowers in my vases since spring, and I think it's time that I switch them out for something a bit more autumnal. And I've been thinking about putting some like scented candles out throughout my room because I've burned through a lot of the scented candles that I had. So now I think I kind of have to get some new stock in, and it's pretty exciting because this means I actually get to play around with some new scents that I want to try for this autumn. So yeah, for those two I'm definitely gonna have to pop into the store though and actually get some from the store. And another thing I've been thinking about actually, now that I'm seeing my nails on screen, is actually painting my nails into something a bit more autumnal. So that seems like a good plan for today. Okay, I kind of figured before I start decorating for fall, I need to take stock of some of the decor that I actually have. So I have those dried flowers I used in my vases in my room. And then I have some stuff in here. I love these little these white pumpkins. They're like ceramic pumpkins and I adore how vintagey they look. So I'm definitely gonna be using them this year. I actually completely forgot about them last year, so I didn't put them out, but this year I really want to use them. Oh, they have some sparkles on them. Where did the sparkles come from? And then I have this mushroom. So this is also covered in sparkles, but I think it looks very nice. And then I still have this other box. Again, a bouquet of like dried flowers. And the other ones are these foxes that I actually had on my bookshelf downstairs last year, and I really like them. They have these, look at their little legs. They look so cute. I love putting these up on my bookshelf. Actually, I'm kind of sad I don't have more of them. I only have these 3. But I'm gonna check this year actually if they're still selling them. I might get some more. Because like these are adorable. And then this also. Oh, 2 bouquets. So this is what I'm working with right now. I'm thinking about getting some more, but I kind of needed to take stock first to see what I'm missing. I definitely want some orangey pumpkins, but for now this is what I'm gonna be using. I definitely want to switch out the bouquets in my room today, so I'm gonna go with these dried flowers and put them in instead of the cherry blossoms that I've had in for the past half a year basically. So that's gonna be step number 1. Okay, I got my summer clothes all ready to pack into the boxes over there. So we have some summer dresses that I don't think I'm really gonna need this year anymore. And I then got some like shirts and shorts and stuff that I usually only really wear on vacation. So I don't think I'm gonna need these this year anymore either. Inside the box, oh, the dresses are so flowy, they're probably gonna fall apart. Yeah, that's not very nicely folded, but it's fine. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna stress some of you out by not folding these dresses properly. I'm so sorry. Okay, and then on top of the summer clothes, I'm actually keeping my sweatpants in the box as well because I don't really have anywhere else to put them. But I'm gonna keep them on top in case I need them. I can just pull them out. So yeah, that's going on top of the summer clothes. But the things that I am taking out actually are some sweatshirts. So I've taken out some of my favorite sweatshirts because these are honestly a must for me when it comes to autumn, especially September, October. I love putting on a comfy sweatshirt. I honestly live in sweatshirts. This might be controversial to admit, but I actually might prefer sweatshirts over sweaters during autumn, which I know is a weird thing to say, but honestly, yeah, please don't come for me. I've already taken out my favorite sweatshirt, which is this one. It's very wide, it's very baggy, it's perfect, it's so warm and comfortable, and it's also very pretty. So I'm so happy that it's finally time to take this one out of the box. Okay everybody, so I actually came down here right now because I kind of need a little reading break. So I have my book here with me. I'm probably just gonna sit down and finish Happy Place right now. That's the goal. So I got the book. I made some herbal tea because honestly I was feeling like drinking some tea right now. I don't know. It's the end of August, so like the need for tea drinking is slowly starting to kick in. So yes, I'm gonna enjoy this. And I actually wanted to quickly mention, I discovered these new gummy bears while we were on vacation. Like my nieces who were with us on vacation are obsessed with dinosaurs. So their mom was like in the store one day and she discovered these gummy bears in the shape of dinosaurs. So cute. They're literally dinosaur shaped, different colors, different flavors. They are really, really good. So yeah, these are my reading snack for the day. Like we have a little T-Rex. Look at it. It's a little red T-Rex. Yes, delicious. I'm pretty sure that's like a... Is it a strawberry flavor? It could be. I'm very bad with flavor, so I'm sorry, but I don't know. I kind of made a game of it actually, trying to find my favorite like dinosaur in my favorite flavor, and I think this is my favorite combination. I actually forget what this dinosaur is called, but in this yellow, I'm pretty sure this is like a blueberry flavor. It's so good. So yeah, this one might actually be my favorite one. I also really enjoy the blue ones. Oh my god, I just beheaded a T-Rex. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I pulled off a T-Rex head. Oh no, I'm sorry, darling. But then I think this is like my second favorite combination. Is this flying dinosaur in this blue flavor. I genuinely have no idea what the flavors are. I'm very bad at guessing flavors, but I can tell colors. So this is a blue flying dinosaur. It's also very good. Okay everybody, so I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I think I finally realized why I enjoy her book so much. And that's because she just makes you feel normal, that life gets messy sometimes, you know, that it's not gonna be perfect all the time. I think that's like what her books portray, at least the two that I have read so far, and they just make you feel like that's just the human experience. And even though it might be bad right now, it's not gonna be bad forever. You might need to make some decisions to make it better, but like a better life is just, you know, those few decisions away. But yeah, anyway, I'm actually gonna go ahead now and add it to my Goodreads page. So yes, that's one more book read in 2024. And I'm gonna add the book over there, I think, on my contemporary shelf. I'm actually not entirely sure where to put it though, because I feel like most of the contemporaries that I have down here are young adult. And also, color scheme wise, where would this even fit? Like here at the end? I feel like here at the end is gonna be too tall because it's the only like one of the few hardcovers on here. That doesn't look good. Oh my goodness. I'm turning this into a thing. Okay, we're gonna try this slot. Maybe it's actually gonna work. No, it looked better before. No, I don't like that. No. It's just so bright, you know? I need to find a home for this book, but nowhere seems to fit. I also can't put it on this shelf, because this is mostly like my TBR books, and most of them, I think, are fantasy, so it's not gonna fit on there. I think I'm gonna go upstairs and check in my room if I have any shelf where I can actually put it. Okay, so to be fair, I do have to find space for both of these Emily Henry books. And any future Emily Henry books I might get, you know, so all these colors are very bright, but I think I found a space for them right here. This seems like a good spot. Obviously I'm gonna take away the Sarah J Maas and then push them in here next to my yoga block and next to my John Green. I think that actually looks very good. I don't know. Kind of seems like they fit, right? At least it doesn't stand out as much as it did downstairs. So I think this is a good fit for them for now. Okay, everybody, so just a quick reading update because I actually have to go out right now, but I figured I should tell you I started listening to this book. So I was like, I need a book, a transitional book going from summer to autumn, and purely judging by the cover, I decided to go for The Hedge Witch of Vauxhall by Anna Bright, and so far it's been pretty good. Like, I'm not that far into it, only on chapter 4, but it's basically about this young witch. She's called Fionn. She has to work with these 2 princes to kind of fight against the man who wants to ban magic in their land. That's all I know about it, and I'm not really far into the story yet to see what's gonna happen next, but so far I really enjoyed the dynamic between, like, or within the family that the princes come from, so like the royal family. I think that's gonna be a pretty interesting aspect of the story, and I'm excited to see more, but I also just want to see more of Fionn because she seems like a really badass character, and apparently there's gonna be dragons, so seems like a pretty good one. And I'm gonna be listening to it in the car right now, so I'm excited about this one. But yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted how it goes. Okay, everybody, so it's actually the next day and I have just come back from running some errands. I actually did my nails for this. I quickly did them this morning. I know I said I was gonna do them, but then I kind of forgot yesterday, so I quickly did them this morning and I feel very fancy now, so excuse me if I talk with my hands even more now than I usually do, but it just feels like, you know, I have important things to say with my nails on. Anyway, so yeah, I had some errands to run and then I did a little bit of shopping. Like I said, I was gonna get some scented candles, so I got some scented candles. I went to the drugstore, like my favorite drugstore that sells scented candles, but I was a bit disappointed with the selection. So I only got a couple today. I only have 2 that I got here. So first up, I have a classic vanilla scented candle because I love using these. I've almost used up the one that I have here in my room, but I know that I don't have one for downstairs anymore, so I got a new one that I'm gonna use downstairs, so that's exciting. And then the other one that I picked up was actually a bit of a surprise because I never expected this combination to smell as good as it does. So this is a honey and chocolate scented candle, and honestly I'm shocked by how much I like the smell of this. I was going for like a lot of the sweeter scented candles because it doesn't make sense to really like buy any floral ones for, you know, autumn and winter. So yeah, I ended up picking up these 2. I'm thinking actually if I'm gonna need more scented candles, I might as well order them online because I know that I follow a couple of like Slovenian scented candle shops on Instagram, so I might actually try those out and see how their scented candles kind of hold up. So yeah, that's kind of why I only bought the 2 today. And then besides the scented candles, I actually did a little bit of clothes shopping. So I went into H&M and I actually found this beautiful, lovely cardigan that is just such an autumnal color. I'm in love with this. Like, is this a burgundy red color? I think I'm obsessed with this color. And then I just couldn't pass up this pleated skirt that's in a similar shade. Look at how gorgeous it is. It's like a, I think this is a midi skirt because it ends like above the ankles, and it is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. It fits very nicely, it flows so nicely around the ankles, and it's perfection. I cannot wait to be wearing that during autumn and just enjoy the freedom of like a longer skirt. So yeah, okay, that was a little haul that I wanted to share with you. I actually didn't buy any books even though I was inside a bookstore. I saw some exciting titles, but I was like, no Jiva, you are going home to the books that you already own and you are going to read those. Especially since I actually am going to go right now to put together my autumn TBR. I'm so excited. I've been kind of putting this list together for the past month and a half, so I have here some book titles of exciting, I think this is mostly new releases that are coming out during autumn. And then I also have a board on Pinterest specifically dedicated to books and book recommendations. So I have a lot of exciting titles on there as well that I need to go through right now and actually pick out some of the books that I'm going to be reading in autumn. I have no idea how I'm going to narrow it down to less books and I'll just put all of them on my TBR, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do for the next couple of hours. I just had lunch as well, so like I'm feeling good. I might make some coffee, maybe some tea. I think tea would be a better idea. Can we all just look at all these beautiful looking books that just seem like they would be perfect for autumn together? And like, how are you ever supposed to narrow it down and not just try and read everything? That's the real question. Like, just look at it. It keeps on going. It doesn't stop. It never stops. And then it stops. I mean, it stops at some point, but you know what I mean? Like, that's so many books. And they all seem perfect. How? How do readers ever decide what to read? Like, they look so whimsical and cozy and magical and witchy, and it's so hard being a reader sometimes. Okay, everybody, I think it's fair to say that the problem wasn't my indecisiveness. It's just the fact that this year there are so many amazing new books coming out this fall that I still haven't. I spent 3 hours yesterday, I spent an hour today trying to narrow down the books for my fall TBR, and I just can't do it. It's still like 20 plus pages. Not pages, books. My TBR is still on 20 plus books for this year, and that is just crazy. It's unacceptable. So I'm gonna have to do something about it. But I genuinely can't do it right now. I can't read another synopsis of a book. I genuinely just need to go and read some actual books. I think that will be very, very helpful. So I'm actually gonna take a break from it. I quickly wanted to actually pop in to tell you about The Hedge Witch of Foxhall, which I've been listening to. And I have come kind of like halfway through the story, or like more than halfway through the story. And now I had to take a break from this one as well because I got a bit frustrated. So I love the beginning of the story. I love the characters. Fionn especially, she's my favorite. I adore her. Same goes for like Talia and David, you know, they're all really cool characters. I love them especially in the first half of the story, where we kind of follow their each individual motivation for what they were doing. You know, they each had their thing they were trying to do, and somehow their determination kind of brought them on the same path. My problem happened with the second half of the story, where we get a love triangle. I hate nothing more in books, I think, than a love triangle. So it was a bit of a turn off, unfortunately. I just got so frustrated because there's so much potential with this world. There's dragons, there's magical freaking unicorns, there's magic that could have been explored even more, you know. Instead we got a freaking love triangle. Like, are you kidding me? Give us dragons. Give us so many dragons. It's gonna be impossible to think about love and love triangles and stuff like that, you know. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity, and it makes me really sad. I am still going to finish the story, but for now I need a little break from it as well. So I'm gonna pick up something else, and I'm also gonna wrap up this reading vlog now. You know, fall is actually already here, and this was sort of like a bit of a sweet introduction and a bit of a preparation for when the actual fall comes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate it when you guys tune into one of my videos. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. So yeah, I will be seeing you more this fall, by the way. I've kind of been planning some content and I really want to do, and I am so excited sharing some of this with you, like, you know, putting together the TBR and the difficulties with it notwithstanding. I do have some other content that I'm very, very excited to be filming and sharing and stuff. So yes, okay, without rambling, that's it for now. Thanks for checking in, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. I will see you very, very soon. So until then, bye bye.